when I pick up a jig and I'm running visible cover on the shoreline, generally this is the style jig I pick up. It's got a horizontal line tie. This is kind of the things I look for. I like the flat head. This is 3/8 ounce, which I throw most of the time in that shallower cover. The weed guard is really close to the hook point, as you can see. Sometimes I trim that down, sometimes I don't. But basically, I kind of run the same setup all the time. Color, when I'm doing this, is not super important generally for me, because most of the time it's a reaction bite. I'm throwing it in from 1 to 4 feet. Generally, when I'm pitching these lines or these holes, as you can see in the video, you know, I get in there, I'll throw it into a spot, and they pick it up almost instantly. Every once in a while, I'll kind of drag it out a little bit. This particular jig does stand up. You know, it will, because of the flathead, it will stand up, but it's super easy to skip. You know, so when I come across an overhang or something along those lines, I can throw it up there and skip it up there. So real quickly, I'm gonna show you how I rig it. So my trailer choice always is the Space Monkey. Generally speaking, what I do is, let me position my camera here, is I'll take this on a jig like this where I want it a little bit more compact. On a swim jig, I cut it above the arms. On this type of jig, I cut it right at the arms, right at below the arms. So I'll cut that, pull the arm off. I'll take this skirt material, cut this just below the hook. Like that. Kind of check it to make sure I don't have anything sticking out. I don't want anything affecting the action of the legs because I cut it short. And then I just run this bait. Space Monkey is my trailer choice almost always, even on a football head jig. I like the action of these flippers, and I'll show you in just a second, but that's how it sits. And so you can kind of see the profile. These are, to me, these are a little bit better than the Rage Crawl. I think you can see how thin that is. And so there's a lot of action whenever this thing falls. So when you throw it in and it goes down like this, these legs are really kicking hard. So that's my preference whenever I'm using these jigs. Plus, when I set it when I let it sit there, these things move without a whole lot of, you know, rod tip action. I can just kind of let it sit there, and these legs will kick and float and kind of take on its own action. So my color choices, generally speaking, 9 out of 10 times I'll throw green pumpkin on a black and blue. That's really my color preference. This one was just in the bottom of my tackle box that I had just sitting there. So oh, that's a good fish. So this tip's around being patient. This set of reeds, it's hard to see in the video, but this is kind of a shade line I'm working. You know, and so I want to get all the way back where the shadiest parts are. So as it kind of little holes open up in those reeds, creates shade, and this will be the second fish that I caught in this spot. But you can kind of see I have a few rough pitches here, you know, trying to get my bait exactly where I'm aiming. So I just stay with it because I know all the spots. I've kind of already picked out all the spots that I want to make sure I hit, and I just stay with it until I hit every spot. But you can see when I finally actually hit what I was aiming at and hit that pocket, that fish was sitting right there. So when you pick a shoreline or cover that you want to cover and you've got wind-blown current or just, you know, any kind of man-made current, you always want to troll up current. It's a lot easier to control your speed and you can pick apart the cover a lot better. So it's a mistake that I make every once in a while because I'll head straight to the best looking stuff first. Instead of trolling up to it. Sometimes I want to do that, sometimes I don't, but as you can see, as I approach, I've already started picking what reeds I want to attack, and then I want to work my way back to the left towards that wind.